Hi everyone, Fenris Models here, and today we're going to be building up the personal plane of Meredith Parker, the US Spitfire pilot with over 50 air-to-air victories against Japan in World War II. Now, as you'll see throughout this video, I have a little helper today, Little Miss Minifen. She's quite a fan of Mrs. Parker's, and is actually the one who told me about this historic pilot. Apparently Parker is not one you'll see in any history book. We started by removing all of the pieces from their trees and trimming them up with a hobby blade. Then we would dry fit the parts before fixing them with cement. The build went pretty straightforward. The kit itself is one of Airfix's fantastic Spitfire Mk.IAs in 1/72nd scale. Once the plane was complete, it was time to start in on the painting. Parker had a very unique scheme that I was quite excited to try. Apparently the flashiness of the paint would lure enemy pilots into mistaking her for a civilian pilot, which is how she racked up so many aerial victories. To do the scheme justice, we broke out some of the Little One's super special paints. Apparently it's so unique it doesn't even have a name or a serial number on it, but it went down like a dream with a brush. No need for an airbrush on this one. In fact, the way that Parker applied an ombre fading with her scheme, an airbrush wouldn't have been able to get the fine grade transitions needed to replicate her original pattern. We let that dry, and I went back in and touched up a few detail pieces, such as the prop and spinners in black, the exhausts in aluminum, and picking out the pilot's face in flat flesh. Next, we needed to mask the canopy. For this, I placed Tamiya masking tape over the canopy and used a toothpick to define where the canopy frame was. Using a fresh hobby knife, I cut along the frame lines, and this way if I went too deep and cut into the clear plastic itself, it could be easily disguised as part of the frame. I could then attach the canopy to the fuselage. The plane then got a coat of gloss varnish, and we set about hunting through my spare decals to find the right decals. We soaked the decals in warm water and applied them with the toothpick. The larger ones also got some microsol applied to them to help them lay better on the model. Taking a fresh hobby blade, I scored each of the decals where the panel lines would be. This will help them to lay into the panel lines better, but will also help the panel line wash flow and give the decals that painted on look. It helps to apply one last layer of microsol after doing this, just to get the cut portions to smooth themselves out. I could then apply the panel liner, in this case Tamiya Panel Line Accent Color Black. The gloss varnish helps to wick the wash along each panel line. With a cotton bud damp with enamel thinner, I wiped clean all of the pinpoints of wash going in the direction of airflow to give some semblance of weathering. And finally, we can remove the canopy mask and call this build done. Okay, confession time. There is no American Spitfire pilot by the name of Meredith Parker. I hope you enjoyed this little April Fool's video. I know I certainly did, because it was an excuse to finally buy my 4-year-old a model kit and get her started on this wonderful hobby. She had a blast painting the Spitfire up, and in all honesty, I did too. I tried to help blend some of the paint where she slathered everything on, just to give it a slightly better finish in the end. But for the most part, the main coloring was all her. She even was the one that chose the decals. The plane now hangs in her bedroom just like Daddy's do. A massive shout out to Callie Bear for becoming the first gift set tier patron over on Patreon. I am extremely grateful for your support. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. If you want to see more of my content, perhaps take a look at this video next. And with that, my friends, stay safe and keep modeling.